Okay, I've been meaning to do this for a while, a little virtual test drive in my Chevy Volt. This is a 2012 model, and the plug is actually on the other side of the car. The charger's here on the wall. I've got it mounted, and it's got a little charger that keeps it from having spikes to the car or any issues with the wall. You'll get some protection here. It takes about 8 to 12 hours to charge, which is no really big deal because when you get home you just plug it in here on the side, and all you do to unplug it is press this button, pull it out, shut the cap, and you're ready to roll. And I just hang this back up right here on the wall. I'm ready to roll. Now this is a keyless entry car, so it's really cool. You've got the key fob on you. Just press the button and you can unlock and unlock the doors without a key. And then you get in, and it's also keyless start. So you have a power button here. You have startup noise there. I'm in the car. You hold down the brake, you press the blue button, and everything comes up, including Van Halen, of course, through my Bose stereo system. Real quickly, on the center stack, there's of course your speedometer here, and I've got 27 miles of predicted range. I've driven 10 miles today, so 37 miles or so is what it's predicting. And that is pretty accurate as long as you drive it fairly normal. Now this is the actual center stack information on the charging. You see it's got 9.8 miles on battery that I've gone and none on gas. So the green is the charge and the blue is the gas. It's got a bunch of different screens you can go through on this. Everything from regenerative mode, which you can actually see the direction of the power this way, looking at this screen while you're driving, how long till charge with a 120 volt or a 240 volt charger, and then back to the main screen. So let's take a ride in the Chevy Volt. I'm on, so you can't really hear anything. All I've got to do now is throw it into reverse. We're ready to roll. Now the reverse camera is pretty cool, and it's got parking assist, so that means anything behind me or in my way, it'll let me know by beeping that it's back there, and it'll get progressively louder as I get closer to anything that I'm going to hit. Backup camera. It's got lots of cool modern touches in this car, and I love this thing. Super quiet. We're in electric mode, and all you can hear is the wheels. So that rocks. And of course, if you want to rock out, you've got the Bose stereo system. So let's see. You can hear just a audible whine when you start going. On the dash here, you can see a little green ball to the right. That ball will let you know what your driving style is like and how efficient you're being. So if you accelerate hard, it will go up and down based upon that. And then if you don't stay in the center, which I am pretty much right now, the mileage to the left won't always add up exactly. It's pretty close most times, so it's pretty accurate overall, and I really think that. Super quiet. Look behind me, you can see the window out back. You can see pretty well out the back of it. I love that. The dash is killer. I mean, it's very modern, and it's got a lot of features. It's even got a DVD player that you can use, but only when you're stopped or whatever, which is pretty awesome. And so that's kind of the overview of the Volt interior. Let's do a little drive here. I'm going to do a little 0 to 60. It's kind of an average man's Tesla, if you will. It's very quick, 0 to 60 in about 8 seconds. It has 2 or 3 different modes for driving. One is mountain mode, one is sport mode, which we're going to get into here in a minute, and one is normal, which I'm in right now. One of the things you do with this car to get the most miles out of it is what's called regenerative braking or regenerative power. And basically, like right now I'm coasting. You do a combination of coasting and putting the thing into low, which this is a 1-gear car, so this isn't actually putting it into another gear. This is actually just increasing the amount of regenerative power I'm picking up. You see that right there, that I'm picking up power as it brakes. What's cool about that is we're not using the brakes, the real brakes, to brake, and so you save your brakes a lot. And another thing that's cool is the engine that's in this. I didn't mention this before, but this is sort of a hybrid, but it's not really a hybrid. It's an electric car with a backup generator engine that powers the battery when you run out of electricity on gas. And what's cool is the engine doesn't run very much, almost never. So that means the engine life is going to be way longer than your standard car, because by the time you get this thing to about 10 years or whatever, the engine's not going to have less than 50,000 miles on it probably. And so it's going to be in awesome shape, and so are your brakes. In fact, they said something to the effect of the brakes lasting 100,000 miles. I don't know if that's true, but that's pretty awesome. Okay, looks like I found the perfect spot to do a 0 to 60. Look at that road out there. It's just long and straight. Put it in a different drive mode here. I'm going to go to sport mode, which is the high performance mode, and I'm going to put it in low. And we're going to let it rip. This is pretty cool. Alright, so 0 to 60. Get to 0. That's a road ahead. Here we go. It's pretty quick. And we are flying 70 miles an hour. So I guess one of the big questions that everybody has is, what does this thing cost? You know, you go look at it online or whatever, it's 40,000 or 45,000 loaded. But I tell you how I got a deal on it, and I was just really motivated to get an electric car because, you know, just really tired of a lot of the stuff going on that's associated with oil, especially in the Middle East, and you know, it just made sense. You know, I could do something about it in a small way. I just owned this car. Not only that, when I did the math, at the time anyway, before the gas prices went down, this car could pay for itself. In fact, it still probably is paying for itself, because I bought this car used. It's 2012. I traded in a car, and you know, the difference between the car I traded in and the total price, which was like $20,000 used, was about 10 or 12. So my payment's like $223 a month. It's extremely inexpensive, and you know, I am saving that much in gas every month. It's just amazing. So I'm actually paying for this car by driving it, and all I have to do is drive it, and I'm good. So, you know, you can't get much better than a car that can pay for itself, and that is awesome, fun to drive, and smooth, and one of the best cars I've ever owned. And so there's ways to get them. I have some other friends that have them, and they did similar things. I went to CarMax to get mine, and that was the ultimate way to do it. So for right now, to get a deal, that's the best way. You know, and you can get a great car from them, and with great low mileage. This was like 24,000 or something in that range. 24,000 miles, and it was like brand new, so it was a killer. So I would recommend it highly, even if you go back and get anywhere from the 2011 to 2014 Volts. The new 16 is a lot more normal looking, I guess is the way to say it, and I really think that this car, that first few years, is going to be the cool one to have, because it really stands out. So that's my Chevy Volt story. Rock on. One thing I like about my car is the front of it. It's just an awesome looking front. It's a low slung car, so it's pretty sporty, and of course it's very aerodynamic because it needs to be, to get some efficiency with the battery. But it's a good looking car, I think. And when you get home, all you do is go over here and plug it in, and you basically have a gas station in your garage. But you can't beat that. That's awesome. And I'll be all filled up in the morning, or tonight when I'm going to my gig. I'll have a good bit of charge, so I won't use much gas tonight at all. And then I'll plug in at work, and I will have more charge to get back home, and I probably will only use less than a gallon of gas today, which is amazing, especially with gas as cheap as it is. So not only do I get the advantage of about $1 a day expense to fully charge this car, I get the added benefit of gas being so inexpensive at this moment that my driving cost is almost nothing.
One of the coolest things about the Volt is how much stuff it can hold. There's 2 speakers, 3 speakers, 2 acoustic guitars, mic stands, bags, and up, look in the side here. How much of this crap is in there? I'm gonna pack this thing full doing acoustic gigs. And it's a little mini station wagon. I mean, it's already a darn cool car, but then you add the fact that it can haul stuff. It's just amazing. One thing that's hard to grasp with a Volt is how many miles per gallon you actually get. And today, this is what I drove today, 90.5 miles. 58.4 was electric. 32 miles was gas. I only used 0.83 of a gallon of gas for 109 miles to the gallon. For, divided by the total there, so that's for real 109 miles per gallon, and that's caused by the electric portion of that, which only cost anywhere from 50 cents to $1 a day, or $1 a charge. So it's pretty amazing. This thing rocks.